Hey guys, cheers for your patience. We've got round two coming up very soon. We've got the lobby all sorted and good to go. I'm just telling them to go and start. Challenger players Abyss General and Abyss Strobella on the red side, and that's going to be Team Young Mechanics. And on the blue side, Judge, it's Inori and Isu Monster, both gold players though, so it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be able to pull out the better strategy for this one.
Certainly will. We're gonna when the champs are all locked in. While we're waiting, we'll be able to talk about the actual champion selection. Unfortunately, we won't be able to do that yet to avoid some ghosting. Don't want to give anyone an unfair advantage at this stage. But last game we did see a range advantage on one team. We saw a Lucian Caitlyn comp come out against Brand and Annie. Penguin, what were your thoughts on that comp? I mean, obviously the Lucian and Caitlyn won in that one, but we thought we'd see a lot more burst coming out from the other team.
Yeah, I think they just kind of got poked out a bit, walked into some Caitlyn traps, and it was great play by Abyss Euphoria on the Lucian. And it was, I think it's a good comp. I do like the picks, Lucian and Caitlyn together, but yeah, there are other lot of comps that can work as well. That's just one of them. And the pick's been locked in actually, so we can probably start talking about them now, because there's like a 5 second stream delay. Abyss General, Lucian, Abyss Strobella, Caitlyn. And on the blue side, Judge, it's Inori picking Israel, Isu Monster picking that Zed.
Certainly, so we're seeing another Abyss. Abyss were the ones who picked the Caitlyn Lucian last game. We've seen them whip out that comp again this game. Instead, going for different summoners. Compared to last game, we had a Flush Exhaust on Lucian and a Exhaust Barrier on the Caitlyn. This time we have Exhaust Flash on Lucian again, but Caitlyn's opted for the heal, which would be a good choice in this comp. Then we have Ezreal on the team, Wendy picking up Flash Ignite, and Zed picking up Flash Barrier. Bit weird there. Would have thought that Ezreal would be taking the Barrier and Zed with the Ignite, but each to their own. Usually the Ignite's a good pick for Zed because then his Deathmark ultimate procs extra damage off of the Ignite damage that's been done while the proc's been up. So, bit different. I didn't think that Ezreal would be using Ignite. I wouldn't think that he'd actually be wanting to get that close to Strawbella and General and would just want to be sitting back poking with his Q, getting some massive damage out. But like I said, each of their own. Maybe there's a secret plan that Team Wendy has in store for us, Penguin.
Yeah, I mean, Abyss Strobella is a top lane player, so maybe he's expecting some melee champions coming out, taking that Ignite. It could also just be a personal preference. I do like Ignite. I'm quite good with it. I'm not so good with Barrier. Or even with heals, so I mean, I can understand why you might want to go for the Ignite, but Lucian, Caitlyn, it's just such a safe, such a secure 2 picks, and I'm not sure if anything's going to be able to be done about this one. What do you think, Judge?
I think in this comp, not so much. I think Lucian Caitlyn can definitely be countered. But, I mean, we're talking about a blind pick competition here. No one's actually picking against the Lucian Caitlyn because they don't know what's coming up. So, I mean, they could definitely be counted if they come across some hard CC with damage. I mean, if you looked at a Bruiser comp, I mean, like a Mordekaiser and a Garen or a Darius might do quite well against them because they have massive damage and can, with the initial 1375 gold, can actually buy up items and get quite tanky while maintaining that damage. That way they can avoid the poke of the 80 carries Lucian and Caitlyn, but can also put out massive damage with bleeds, or Garen can spin to win and actually do a lot in the early stages of the game.
Yeah, so it's kind of curious. Maybe this Ezreal is going to be the one picking up the farm, being the range champion. When they see Lucian and Caitlyn, the picks come out in Champ Select, I'm sure they're not going to be too happy with that Zed. The melee Zed, so he's just going to have to farm with the Razor Shuriken if Ezreal doesn't take all of it for himself. And, you know, level 6 on Zed, Deathmark, that's where it's going to be interesting. That's going to be where Zed will want to be going in. And before then, Caitlyn and Lucian are just going to be poking the hell out of them and making sure they don't have enough health to be able to do anything when SU Monster gets that Deathmark available.
That's right. I mean, it's the advantage here that when Team Wendy do have is that Zed is an energy champ. He doesn't have to wait for mana regeneration. He just walks around a little bit, dodges some skill shots from the Caitlyn and Lucian, and regains energy, and then can poke back with shurikens and shadows. I think that's going to be an advantage that they're going to want to make sure they use, is the fact that they can sustain spamming abilities more.
And bush control for that is very important. And they've got the Caitlyn, so like you just trap the bushes and you get bush control. I wonder if EC Monster and Ori are going to be able to deal with that one and get bush control for themselves with that melee Zed. He'll be able to poke in and out of the bush with the Razor Shuriken with some more poke. But yeah, I mean, it's just so robust. I'm really impressed that they've figured out this composition, and Abyss Euphoria maybe passing it on, maybe even brainstorming with Abyss General and Strobella to get this clever one together.
That's right, and I think there might be a bit of collaboration amongst the Abyss eSports team, working out which comps they want to be taking into this match, or into this tournament, I should say. That way they can get into the later brackets and see how high up they can get before finals.
Yeah, so on the Twitch chat we've got Alwara saying if they pick a Blitzcrank plus carry, that will be strong versus double carry. I kind of agree with that. You do need to be a good Blitzcrank player to pull off the hooks, but myself, I've actually played Blitzcrank into Caitlyn. It was a bit of fun. And it does have a lot of burst damage. Supports have a lot of high base damage, but both teams going for these scaling champions, and it's going to be poke from Abyss General and Strobella into a strange sort of Ezreal poke and Zed something. I don't know what's going on, but we're on to Howling Abyss, and they're charging out to get some bush control.
Looking at the items, it's important to note some really good buys from Ezreal and Zed here. We've got a Sheen on Ezreal already, looking to proc massive damage off of his Q poking with auto attacks. We've also got the Dirk, the Serrated Dirk on Zed, giving him 10 armor penetration, and his next basic attack or single target spell dealing extra damage. He'll be looking to get executions using his passive on minions, and then look to get extra damage on the next auto attack or shuriken that he throws at Strobella and Lucian, being Abyss General. So some good buys. On the other side, we do have double Dorans and a longsword and a few pots and bickies for the Abyss team. So just a standard AD carry, 2v2 comp or itemization coming out for them. Massive damage from the Ezreal Q on the minions though. Half-healing minions with a Q this early in the game is looking pretty good for them.
The push from Lucian and a Caitlyn, just because they've got the AoE ability, is going to be a lot stronger. And Nori, if he wants to make use of that damage, he'd probably prefer it hits champions rather than those minions, as he's doing at the moment. Just farming up, pushed into turret though, Caitlyn and Lucian shoving that in as quickly as possible. And SU Monster, he's just staying back, trying to not take damage. And like I was saying already, the Caitlyn trap's taking that bush control.
That's right. I mean, important note that you made is their AoE ability to push, and that also helps them establish the bush control. They're constantly pushing to tower, meaning that Inori and SU Monster can't push up to the bushes. The only bush they have to control is the one right next to their tower. So Abyss is definitely establishing early game dominance in this 2v2.
Yeah, Inori, Ezreal just accidentally crit that last minion, missing that 1 CS. So it's 12 CS for Young Mechanics and 10 CS for the blue side. So, I mean, pushing it into the turrets, what do you think about this strategy, just shoving it in constantly?
It can be a very good plan to get tower damage off early. Unfortunately, it's not going to help you establish a CS advantage if you're playing against people that can actually CS. We are seeing that as a trend. We do have, a slight lead, 19 CS to 14 at the moment. Inori missing that last one.
The CS lead's increasing.
That's right, the CS lead's increasing, but ever so slightly. Inori's more likely to miss CS under tower just because of miscalculations, but at the same time, the Abyss team's not going to be able to get much poke off near the tower, except for a couple of Caitlyn Qs, maybe a Lucian W, because they don't want to take that tower damage, otherwise Zed's going to go all in on them.
Abyss General taking that little health relic, so it takes away half their health available, and SU Monster and Nori not even going back for their health relic that's just spawned. That's interesting. Taking a lot of damage. Strobella going in. Oh, they're going in for this kill. Not going to get it though. Inori just has to arcane shift out of that one. A lot of poke coming out before level 6 has even been hit for the Abyss players.
That's right. We are seeing some more CS fall to the tower SC Monster picking up that last one because Inori couldn't do it. The Q's missed. Massive damage coming out of General there on both SC Monster and Inori. A Q from Strawbella on the cross. I think this Lucian Caitlyn team, Colm, is just so brilliant for the double carry. You've got a Caitlyn with massive range, good poke with that Q like we've just seen on Inori, and General with the massive burst damage in close range. I think they can handle any situation that's coming up unless there's a lot of hard CC. We are seeing them go for
Level 6. She's gone for it.
Level 6 going on Inori. 1 bar of health left. Inori really not coming well off of this one. I was hoping for more counterplay in this one, Penguin, but unfortunately, I think the Caitlyn Lucian is just too dominant.
Yeah, Nori needs to take the... Oh, he's got level 6 now, so they're going to shove out one wave, but this turret's going to fall down. He has to take the death now and respawn with full health, or do something else, do something crazy. I'm not sure what it's going to be. They're not able to defend this turret. Like, it's just going to get shoved in. Abyss General, they're going for the turret win. They're shoving the minion wave in. There's no minions. And not much health on this turret. Is the team Wendy going to be able to defend?
No, they're not. Unfortunately, they've got a full wave of minions. That's it. That's tower done. That's GG. And they're going to try and claim the kills anyway to finish it off. There it is. First blood after the tower's down. It's already been GG. Abyss General left the game. Strawbella following suit. That's GG. Abyss smashing Team Wendy, the Young Mechanics.
Yeah, Young Mechanics taking that one out. We might be able to jump on with another game. We're just going to go to a quick transition screen for a little while we get into a spectate for another one.